This is News 6 Tonight.
Hey, welcome to News 6 Tonight. We got the band show this evening. I am honored to have Eric Von Anken, weekend anchor,
Honored to be sitting across from you.
community
Hi,
correspondent.
everybody.
I learned this about Eric Von Anken today. We spent a lot of time together. This man can do a backflip on a wakeboard. And he's going to be humble, and he's not going to admit it, but I saw it on video.
That might have been fake.
Was that AI?
I used to be a big wakeboarder
Yeah.
when I was younger,
Okay.
and could move easier. But every once in a while, I'll try and throw
Just
it down.
as you watch this show, I want you to know he's got those kind of moves,
Appreciate
not
that.
just news moves. But we did have a big news
Appreciate
day here.
Yeah.
We went on early because of this. There was
Yeah.
all sorts of stuff going on. The governor and the CFO of the state of Florida, they descended on downtown Orlando today. We heard they had a big announcement coming in, so we were the ones who brought it to you first in the area. Blaise Ingoglia, or as the governor now refers to him, have you heard this before?
The pit bull.
The fiscal pit bull.
Right.
Not a bad nickname.
Right.
He said he is issuing an investigative subpoena against Orange County. He thinks Orange County is hiding something. He claims someone from inside the county contacted his auditors and
Yeah.
said, hey, they're trying to hide stuff from you by changing the name of files that were, because they have to send them all the files for the
Right.
audit, but they're saying they're trying to be sneaky.
1.2 million files they had.
It's a lot of files.
And Blaise was saying they use AI to try and sort through all of these files. I mean, how could one person go through 1.2 million anyway? So AI among the tools. And sure, the keywords like DEI, right? And so if these are the things that you're looking for, so he's talked about searching for fraud, he's searched for government waste and DEI. And we've heard this all over the state. This is the first time, and I said this earlier to Matt on air, the first time that I have heard of that Blaise Ingoglia, the CFO, has actually revealed some of these results. And it's funny because in this press conference, when he started out today, he said, I'm not going to get into the details, but then he did.
Then
he
he
announced
did.
a subpoena.
Yeah. And that was the big announcement for them. And it's specifically regarding these DEI grants that they know Orange County is involved in. But he says it's very suspicious because they couldn't find any emails about 5 of these grants. Here, let's listen to the CFO, what he had to say.
Well, Orange County fooled around, and now they're about to find out.
This is the first round of investigatory subpoenas. We're going to be sitting down having interviews. If we are told that they were told by someone else to remove the information, then we're going to issue a subpoena to them, and we're going to continue until we find out who actually made the final decision to remove this information.
So he claims those emails are missing. He says people within Orange County should just tell the truth, should tell them what their bosses have been saying. Now, according to Mayor Jerry Demings with Orange County, he says they've been totally transparent with this. They're not going to find anything, but we'll have to wait and see.
He said it seemed like people were reading from scripts.
That
when they
was
interviewed them.
interesting. You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Rehearsed.
yeah,
Is what he was inferring, obviously.
which if that's, you could say that about anybody.
Sure.
But
Sure.
it's a fascinating,
We'll see.
if people were told, hey, just stick to these specific storylines. I don't know. Will they find anything? They'll definitely tell us if they do.
Yeah,
that's
there's a lot
for
more to
sure.
come. Yep.
And we were also there to ask the governor about something else, Crosswalk Gate. I'm trying that. I'm trying it on. I don't know if it fits. Crosswalk Gate.
So the big issue with the crosswalk controversy, as I've also been calling it, is the Pulse Memorial, the Pulse nightclub, where 49 people lost their lives.
Yeah.
And there was a crosswalk there, as we've discussed many, many times, that was painted with the colors of the rainbow as a memorial to these folks. Well, that was the first one in Central Florida that was painted over by FDOT, which said that this is now in violation. And this is what we were trying to figure out earlier today. Mike Valenti was looking into this. Is this in violation of a state statute? Is this in violation of the new federal government rules that say crosswalks should not be distracting or shouldn't be used for political purposes? But then, as we saw today, the checkered flag crosswalk at Daytona, that was also painted over. And the governor said, I'm just enforcing the laws. I think he said something like the end of the sentence was, that's how the cookie crumbles.
Mm-hmm. And it was interesting, too, because we asked him specifically about those crosswalks. Like, why did you pick out that specific Pulse Memorial crosswalk? Is it because it's rainbow and has to do with LGBTQ? Right. And he says, hey, look, I approved the funding for a real memorial, millions of dollars for the new Pulse Memorial. So that is his argument, that I'm not targeting them. And then he says the proof is in the pudding. Basically, they're going over green crosswalks. They're now doing the checkered flag.
But it was the first crosswalk in Central Florida that was painted over. It was painted over in the middle of the night, as a lot of the protesters have said who have been out in front of Pulse since this happened last week. And they point out that no one got any notice that this was about to happen. Once that happened, then we started digging. We found the notices where we found at least the comments from the state explaining why they did it. But before then, no notice.
This is true. Under the cover of darkness, they did it. And they have come back since, as people go out there and continuously put chalk in that crosswalk.
And to be fair, we should say, perhaps the potential was, if they did it during the day, that this would have caused an uproar, because it did the next day.
So, and also, at a traffic situation, they do take care of it at night.
They do a lot of work at night. I drove home the other night after the Sunday newscast, and they were ripping up the road. And, it was down to one lane on my way home. So, sure, that would make sense.
Yeah. And so our community correspondent, Angie Casada, she went out to Daytona to cover how people are feeling about that particular crosswalk being covered over as of today.
First, it was Pulse Memorial's Rainbow Crosswalk in Orlando. Now another iconic design is gone. That's right here in Daytona Beach. Overnight, state crews repainted the checkered flag crosswalks just outside Daytona International Speedway.
Legislature passed a change in law recently which said there's no street art allowed. And the Department of Transportation put out guidance recently, a couple months ago, reminding everybody. And this has been addressed statewide, not just on any issue under the sun. Blue Lives Matter this. They're doing it uniformly throughout the state. I think the street art got out of hand. I think it's much better that we use crosswalks and streets for their intended purpose.
So there you get a look at it. It's not the best looking crosswalk anymore. That one's back at the Pulse Memorial, but that one right there, you could still see the checkers.
Right.
In the crosswalk.
They could have done a better job on that.
They were clearly covered up. But, it's a rush deal. Trying to get that done in a night is probably not easy.
And it's interesting if you listen to the governor's words there. So what he said is no street art. But remember, when he first explained why this was happening, not just across Central Florida, but across the entire state, he said no political messages.
Yes.
So a lot of people have started to analyze the governor, saying, is he pulling back a little bit and not trying to make this as much about politics because of the criticism that he has received? We've reported on how many people are emotionally, viscerally upset, especially at Pulse, because, again, in their view, this is nothing more than just a tribute to these people who lost their lives, saying this shouldn't have happened.
Yeah. And I wonder if they're pulling back the rhetoric less because of politics, but more because of the legality of the situation. So if somebody takes them to court and says, you covered over this crosswalk because it was rainbow and because of this one group of people, Now they don't really have a legal leg to stand on for that, because he says, look, I covered over the Blue Lives Matter. I covered over the kids with their inspirational messages and Daytona International Speedway. So it's interesting to see, because they do seem to have just turned everything down just a tad in the last few days.
Yes, absolutely.
So, so we'll keep following that. We've had that. That's been one of our lead stories almost every night.
And everybody I know is talking about it. My kids are talking about it.
Right. Yeah, that's one of those ones that reaches the younger generation, and okay, this story is really resonating with people. Our next story is interesting. This one I think everybody can sort of relate to. We all have neighbors. Maybe our neighbors are awesome. Maybe they're not. Real Stalker, good to see you out from North Carolina watching us. Appreciate you. So imagine you have this neighbor. Their home is in disrepair, right? And you're looking out there and you're like, what's going on? There's people coming in and out that you might not expect. The neighborhood gets frustrated. You might want to go talk to the homeowner, except in this case, the homeowner is dead.
Right.
So Erica Bergoglio, one of our investigative team, took a look at this story.
Thornton's frustration began 2 years ago when her neighbor, who used to live in this house, died.
I noticed a lot of trash being accumulated.
Orange County Code Enforcement put this sticker on the window: the property does not have any power or running water. According to county documents, the homeowner was given 15 days to fix those violations or face a fine of $1,000 per day. Those fines now totaling more than $90,000.
The homeowner is deceased. Who is paying the $1,000 a day?
Deputies were called to the property more than 20 times in the last 2 years. Most of those calls were for a suspicious incident. The sheriff's office says it appears the occupants have permission to stay on the property.
You don't feel safe?
I don't feel safe in my own home.
In Orange County, Erica Bergoglio, News 6.
See, what I don't understand about this story, though, and I think you're thinking the same thing, is a dead person can own a piece of property. It must have been passed to someone, or maybe it's in probate.
Right.
I don't really understand the situation.
Or perhaps there was an agreement before the person passed away. If I'm no longer here, you can come and stay here, or I'm sick. I know I'm not going to be here soon. Yes, you can take over the house when I'm gone, of course.
But at some point, somebody has to pay that $1,000 a day.
And that's what Erica hasn't not been able to find out. Who is there? And obviously, Orange County has a record of these people. Is there? I wonder if Orange County would answer the question: is some relation between the deceased? Is it family staying at this house? And what was the arrangement? Was it an agreement before death, or was it passed on,
or is it just straight squatters in there who saw that the house was empty and took over?
Although they said the person, whoever's in the house, has permission. And there were calls for violations. It sounds like that was squatting. But now, if the final judgment from the county is they can be there, there's some sort of agreement, that we don't know about.
Permission from the homeowner who's dead. So that confusing story, but
yes,
very interesting if you're on the outside looking in and it's not happening in your neighborhood.
Sure. Right.
Hey, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to show you some crazy video of a story out of Jacksonville, how musical chairs could lead to a concussion. It's nuts.
Bruises.
Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart, also good looking, because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down below.
Gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh. Okay, welcome back to News 6 tonight. I've got Eric Von Enken with me. I'm Matt Austin. Hopefully you're enjoying the show so far as we stream live.
Yeah.
ClickOrlando.com, News 6 Plus.
Yeah. Interesting
YouTube,
stuff today.
all the
Talk
places.
about. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just a good plethora of stories for us.
Yeah.
On the news desk
Yeah.
today.
It's been nonstop. Yeah.
It has, yeah. So outside of all of our Central Florida located stories, we have this one out of Jacksonville
Right.
that blew my mind when I saw this video. So let me set it up for you a little bit. There's a pep rally. The whole school's gathered around, and they decide they're going to play a little musical chairs. And it gets aggressive, way more than you would expect from a schoolhouse game of musical chairs.
And the kids too, by the way.
Yes.
Kids were all into it, and these are they look like these are high school students.
High school students,
Yeah.
and then a teacher, at least one teacher is involved.
Right.
And so they're going to get what looks like maybe the last chair.
That's what it looks like.
And a young lady grabs it, and then the teacher grabs her and chucks her to the ground.
Yep.
Pretty hard. Take a look at the video for yourself. See what you think.
I do remember, like, why am I on the ground? And I was thinking, like, I'm on the ground. Like, I shouldn't be on the ground this hard.
Nobody should even have to come or even have to deal with their kid going to the emergency room just for a teacher tackling their student over on the ground over musical chairs.
So take a look
That's how
at
it
the video
started.
here. Yeah, this is the beginning. People are very into this.
Mhm.
And then look how he actually slams her to the ground. This is what surprised me reading this story, Eric. When you watched this the first time, did you think that they were maybe friends or they were tight?
Yeah, I mean, so if you look at it right here, right? So and the teacher's face is blurred. At first, I couldn't tell who the teacher was,
Right. Yeah, because he looks young.
and then noticed. Then when she goes for the chair, he falls down. It looks like he right here. It looks like he trips.
Yeah, she
right.
she took the chair out from under him playfully.
And so this is how he chooses to react. And obviously she got hurt from that. But the I guess my point here is this was physical from the beginning, or almost
Mm-hmm.
almost the beginning. No one should go home with a concussion and broken or bruised ribs, I should say. But it definitely got out of hand real quick. It looks like on all sides.
Yeah, but I was surprised that they did not know each other before this. According to the mom, this
The
teacher,
way he grabbed her.
yeah, the way
you're
you
saying.
would
Yeah.
think maybe it was playful and
Yeah.
he just got a little carried away. But for somebody you never met, this kid that you're grabbing like that, I don't know. You have a high schooler.
Yeah, look,
I have a high schooler.
any adult, but sure, any adult having contact with a younger person like that, that's bad.
Yeah,
The video just looks
it's
bad.
not a good look, and because of that, the teacher has been reassigned
Right.
as they investigate this situation. He's
no
no longer
criminal charges,
Yeah, and that's why his face is blurred out.
Right.
We don't want to bash this guy. If
and
no
not to
criminal
say that there
charges are
will
filed.
be
Right.
ever.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you
Starting-
for saying that. But the mom has gotten some legal counsel. We'll see if this turns into a civil matter. But obviously, she's very upset. Her kid got hurt.
Yeah,
Hate to see her
I
kid
know.
get hurt.
Again, a concussion. Nobody wants that for your
Yeah.
kid. Justin Warmoth looked into a story in Apopka, and this was really interesting because this one we were tipped off by, and we heard from a lot of people saying the new mural that showed up in Apopka. I guess somebody
I
searched
don't
it.
know how they figured this out.
I mean, with these days with Google Image, Google Lens, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can check anything. So somebody checked it apparently and found that the mural in Apopka looks a lot like a mural somewhere else. Here's Justin's
Does
story.
that
You
look
tell me what you
similar?
think.
Well, a lot of people feel it looks too similar. The artist who did this mural in Apopka says that he was given this inspiration from the city. This wasn't his original artwork. They didn't give him a blank canvas here. He says that the city approached him with their vision. Now, this got so much backlash that the city of Apopka's Main Street program actually put out a statement apologizing to the original artist and to the citizens of Apopka. What do you think should happen with this? I've seen so many different comments about whether they should paint over it, make a new one. What do you believe is the right move?
What we don't know, to be fair, is what exactly did the city tell that artist? Did they, and I know, it's difficult for Justin to get this answer, but did the city of Apopka put a picture
Right.
in front of that
Did they
artist, say, do
show-
this?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Was likely to happen. Can we put them up? Let's put them up on the screen, Chris, because you can see them next to each other. And at first, I was like, oh, the colors are a little different.
Yeah, the downtown's a little different.
Downtown's a different font, but then you look at the kind of swirly letter next to the downtown.
Like Justin pointed out, the flowers, the bike.
The exact same thing is said in that little wavy banner above as well. Very similar color in the middle.
Yeah.
So that's from a artist who painted this in 2017 in Iowa, of all places.
Right. And the city admitted, that's what the apology was. And Justin pointed this out in his story on the mural on the left in Apopka. It now says it was added inspired by
with the artist,
the original artist.
Right.
This one created by the new one who did it.
Yes.
But the point is they're giving credit, right? They fully acknowledge that this idea apparently came from somewhere else. But
it's just a funny world.
How much so?
Yeah. But
make an exact copy, or
I know.
do this.
How much of the song do you have to change before it's now your song too?
Legally.
But it doesn't seem like it'll ever come to that. But definitely made for some good internet fodder.
And
for
I'm
the folks.
impressed that someone found it.
They deserve their own story right there.
Should work for News 6.
We'll
take you.
Be a good investigator. All right. Well, we have a good weather guy in. We've got David Nazario in tonight. He is joining us to take a look at how things have been shaping up. So, David, it felt like a calmer day than we've been used to. I know some people would say, okay, I got some rain. It wasn't that calm at my house. But
better.
Yes, it was a
than the last
better
few
day.
days.
Tell us why that was.
Yeah, so we've had a front that was bullied all the way down as far south as northern Florida. And the reason I say bullied, it's August. Typically, this time of year, we're not talking anything in the realm of cold fronts, let alone fall-style conditions, especially if you reside somewhere in the Central Florida area. But all thanks to Erin having distorted the weather pattern from Canada all the way down to us here in the Sunshine State, that's what's helped to kind of force this pattern to us. But Chris, if you want to pull over my graphics real quick, I want to show you the radar tonight. A lot less active, albeit Marion County, you're all cooking up there. We had that East Coast sea breeze finally begin to move inland, and slowly but surely, we're starting to see more of that leftover moisture because we still have westerly winds across the peninsula thanks to that leftover but dissolving frontal boundary. And so what you're seeing there, you can see that there's the shades of red closer to Ocala, but notice how they're fanning off towards the right, towards the east. That's that interaction with the westerly winds aloft and then the easterly winds down because of the sea breeze. So that's kind of like a little crash course on wind shear. That's a textbook example of it. And then before we wrap up, just want to get you some headlines coming up at 9:30. We have that current front that was situated over top of us. That's starting to go away. Over time, the heat has to build back one way or another, but we have another front and another system coming down very soon. Could create some detriment for the Labor Day weekend coming right at us here over the next couple days. And then thankfully, I'll kind of digest exactly why it is the tropics, despite headed towards the peak of the season, could be quiet the first week or two of September.
That's good.
That's the headline right there. David Nazario. I'd like to apologize to everybody. I took a 3-day weekend off, so of course it has to rain the whole time.
Yeah.
That's my fault.
And you know what, David? I feel like some of the bullies in my high school could have gotten that front down to Florida, too.
Yeah, you never know. Sounds
He
about
probably
right.
He probably was the bully, David.
No,
Don't
I
listen to
got
him.
my butt kicked in high school.
All right, thanks, David. Appreciate you. All right, when we come back, we're going to talk about a great local cause that News 6 was helping out today, getting helping out the teachers locally. We'll be right back. Welcome to News 6 Tonight. We are so thankful that you're joining us here wherever you found us.
Yeah, you know what this tells me? If you have made this your new streaming destination, it tells me you're smart. Also good looking because you chose to watch the news in a different way. That makes you really smart. Anybody can give you the news from a teleprompter or an old newspaper. We do it in a fresh new way.
That's right. So check us out wherever you like to stream. We have this app for your TV, News 6 Plus. You can find it on Roku and Amazon and whatever your smart TV is cooking. So thank you. We would love to hear your comments down
Oh my
below.
gosh. Yeah.
And then we'll show them.
Yeah, we will. News 6 Plus. The plus is you.
Ooh.
The Austin.
Oh, for sure. I got bullied in middle school as well. That was our conversation coming back
Who would
out.
bully this guy?
Oh, there plenty.
Put him in his place real
They'd
quick.
still, no. Nowadays, maybe, but back in the day, no.
Those guns? Are you kidding me?
These were not non-existent.
Don't even.
back
I
in,
have a shirt
in
that
8th grade.
you can fit them in.
You're welcome on the show anytime.
Thank you.
Come on, I could.
That's all it takes.
That's all it takes. So, hey, glad to have you back with us here on News 6 tonight. One thing we have been involved with for a long time, A Gift for Teaching. It's a fantastic organization. And at some points in the year, they have this deal where you can donate $1 and then they will give $20 worth of supplies to kids in many of our local counties.
That's
which is
huge.
pretty incredible.
Right.
Our anchor, Lisa Bell, who's been joining me on this show lately, she was out there field anchoring with A Gift for Teaching today.
So because of what I get from A Gift for Teaching, I'm able to give my kids that opportunity where they're not at a deficit, but they have what they need. And it's never like a hand-me-down because it's always just slipped so quietly over there. So it builds them up, it pushes them forward, and they know that, hey, my teacher got me, the community got me, and there are people who are rallying around me, and that just motivates them to learn even more.
This is so many teachers in our local areas take money out of their own pocket, which is not, they don't get paid enough, especially here in the state. And then they buy these supplies for the kids.
Right.
And so what A Gift for Teaching does, they have this place where you can come and shop as a teacher and you can get all the stuff you need, bring it back to your kids. You don't have to pay a dime for it. It's pretty amazing.
And some of the stories we heard today from Lisa about, like that teacher, but about what this does, you know, and the way the kids react. And so many teachers, they obviously they're the essentials, but they want to make their classroom great.
Yeah.
They want to make it a fun place. And how many teachers go back early before school starts and they
Decorate the classrooms. Yeah.
days doing this because it's so important to them. They want an environment where kids want to be. And like you said, most of the time they pay for it themselves.
Teachers are the best. And you're the
Agreed.
best. Eric Von Eycken, thank you for hanging out.
You're